Good evening and welcome to Nightfall in Amsterdam. Tonight we are joining a mixed group as they begin to dig into, or further into, the religious conflicts that seem to be flaring up more and more throughout the city. Initially, these began as public forum debates, discussions, arguments over who could display what items of faith where, that sort of thing. Those debates, as they tend to do, escalated and have peaked now at the point of violence, assault, theft, and even one confirmed homicide, possibly more. But tonight, the group finds themselves looking into the, perhaps lesser, although from an ethical standpoint, perhaps equally as bad, the theft of a number of holy items from the local priest. Friar Leonard, a Christian priest who has actually tried to preach some sort of moderation and civility in his approach, has had personal items, his own rosary, crucifix, and including a family heirloom Bible stolen from him, and has been hoping someone would help. The police have not had much success. There's been some debate as to how invested the police are into resolving these religious conflicts. And the friar can be found at the church that he maintains, works at rather, not necessarily maintains himself, but there's boards over a couple of windows that were clearly recently boarded over. Other than that, you don't see any obvious sign this was a crime scene. But this evening you would find Friar Leonard, as is common, he is on the front steps preaching, although most of his sermons here are about peace, tolerance, caring for those less fortunate. And he is also giving out food to the hungry.
Miranda's gonna be tugging Avalon along. Chica, no, he has stuff stolen. I'm wondering if this is part of whatever this bigger thing is going on. Cause like I have Morgan's blade, and he told me where they were, how they found the stuff with in the park stuff. So I know the tunnels that they use, and then there is the spirit that keeps telling me that we have to protect the women on children, because we cannot let the women on children die, Miss Chica. Without them, there is nothing. There is no future.
Avalon will nod, and I'm sure that they're connected somehow. I mean, we already know that there are people trying to turn everybody against each other.
See, and since they are trying to turn everybody against each other, if we can talk to the priest here, maybe we can find out what he had. Maybe I can look to see where it is, and then we can go and narrow down where these people are. See?
Absolutely.
have not heard about any snake worship people, so chica, it makes me sad. I was hoping to have heard more about that. They're keeping very on the down low.
Well, if you were trying to stir up trouble like this, you would too, right?
See, chica. I hope he finishes his sermon fast. I'm not feeling over the patience tonight.
I'm sure he will finish in his own due time. I mean, can't really rush these things. No, I agree.
Oh, we at the church now?
Listen to it
Yes.
myself.
So everyone's kind of introing. And he does wrap up like his big main sermon. He's still talking to individual people, but
If none of the other PCs are gonna do anything.
Oh, I'm about to do something stupid.
Oh boy.
I'll let him do that first.
Excuse me, holy person. He does air quotes when he says holy.
the friar turns and says, "Good evening, good sir. Are you seeking shelter or food or just conversation?"
You lost things. I find things. I am Aaron. Where did you lose them?
He kind of leans over and to one of the people who's there and looks like a somewhat ragged looking fellow, but he says, you know, if you, to that guy, if you could finish handling the food distribution. And then he steps over and he says, "Oh, I've got I had my goods, personal belongings stolen from my private chambers around the back of it, the ministry here."
Mm-hmm. Let's discuss payment. What do I get if I find them?
He kind of arches an eyebrow and he, you know, he notices some of the other folks who are not part of his regular parishioners here on the streets, and he looks at you and he says, "I'm going to assume a heartfelt thank you and a prayer and a blessing is not going to be sufficient."
He just blinks. He just blinks in his general direction.
Then he says, "So are you looking for monetary gain or goods? Do you need some sort of service provided?"
Money would be nice. I don't really care how much. Just money. I like money.
Out of character, was there a police report filed for any of this?
Yes.
Okay. Then in that case, Milan walks over and says, "I'm representing the Amsterdam Police Department. My name is Detective Milan Visser. I probably don't really need a reward other than the paycheck I'm getting anyway. So what can you tell us about all of the items that are missing?"
He doesn't need money, but I do.
He looks and says, "Well, it's well noted then, and and thank you for clarifying. We've, of course, we did file a report initially, but did not seem to have been sufficient. The there was a heirloom Bible. It had been one that was passed through my family for a number of generations. That, of course, was probably the biggest personal loss to me. Although there was a rosary and a crucifix that were personal to me as well, as well as a number of smaller items. I had a wooden cross that I had hand carved.
There seem to be plenty of those around here. What's special about this one?
He looks and says, well, as I mentioned, first and foremost was that I hand carved it.
So you can carve another one. I'm asking because I don't understand why this is important.
It's true, I could carve another one. I carved that one while I was still a youth in seminary school, so it had...
So a very long time ago. Okay.
It was quite a while ago, and it had sentimental value more than anything. Emotional investment, if you will.
Intangible. Got it. Okay. That makes sense now.
You don't really, I mean, the Bible maybe, but the rest of it doesn't really sound like anything that would have a any kind of black market value or any sort of value in a pawn shop.
Everything has value to someone. That's why we steal things.
Oh, touche. Has anyone been snooping around these items at all before that you'd noticed?
He's a priest, not a detective. How would he know?
No, I mean, he would be able to see if someone was going through his stuff in his room, if he was there.
You're a policeman. Do you not think he would have mentioned that first?
He kind of chuckles a little bit at that, and he said, I didn't see anyone in my room, but I am out in the streets regularly. I preach to, admittedly, the downtrodden and the...
So people without addresses that we can't talk to. Okay.
Many of them, unfortunately.
Wait, you're talking to... What are you talking about over here? Are you talking about the stuff that was not taken on here?
That woman is not speaking English.
You little puto.
Yes,
You better
is.
shut your mouth before I close it for you.
I don't know what she just said. Can someone translate that?
Oh my god.
Can someone run that through a program? I don't.
The priest gestures to... He says, we have also had others of other faiths who tend to come around.
Is that legal?
Well, I am more approachable than others who practice and preach the Christian path. So I understand why many of them come to me. They can talk to me without me assaulting them verbally or otherwise.
This is the Christian one where you eat his body parts and get superpowers, right?
Do you have a picture of the things that wasn't they were taken? Like a photograph, senor?
Yes.
Por favor.
What?
Photographs would indeed be most helpful, so we know.
Do you understand this woman?
For. Of course, I do.
I've only been with her for 10 years. Oh, Dios mío.
The friar says, I may have some pictures that have those objects.
Muy perfecto.
Never
Gracias.
really took close-ups or documented them.
There's no need. Just being able to see them will make seeing where they are much easier. Sí. Muchas gracias.
He looks and he says, when he looks at Evelyn Miranda, he says, I'm going to assume neither of you are practitioner or followers hoping for God's blessing for doing this either.
No, see, I'm friends with the people that are there. They come, we talk and we hang out, and they help me. And then I know that, but there's the other spirit. She says that we need to protect each other and the women. So I'm kind of invested in this. So at the personal levels, I'm not worried about conversation.
She's crazy.
Sí,
You are insane.
sí.
He
You should bless her or something. Can you fix that?
No.
he rubs his forehead and he says, all right, just to make sure I am on the same page. The four of you all wish to assist. None of you are Christians.
No.
It's fine.
Well, I'm not. Neither is my friend here, and she'll motion towards Miranda, but I cannot speak for the others.
I heard about your plight and wanted money for it. That's it. But I'm really good at finding things in investigation. That's not a lie. I can't lie. I don't have the time. And that woman is crazy.
I'm basically here because I'm on the clock.
Sí, look, we need to do this faster. Can we see the picture, por favor? Muchas gracias.
Yeah.
You should not trust these people.
He gestures and he says, all right, we'll go back this way. My lodgings are back there. That'll be the area where everything was taken from. It's also where I have pictures. Hopefully I can help all of you at once.
One moment, sir. Just so my own clarification, because I'm supposed to ask these sort of questions. The policeman person here who's not showing you a badge and just said he was a cop, and me who just wants money, and the two crazy people are going to go back to your room, and you think that's okay?
He looks at you and he says, well, should it come to it, God will protect.
Does he have a taser?
To take his things. I wouldn't like it if somebody took objects of my particular faith either.
Looks at you as he turns and heads into the church and he says, I don't know if God has a taser, but he sure gave me the skills with a broadsword.
A what?
Is there a ramp or anything back there?
Avalon raises an eyebrow when he says that.
And he just keeps kind of walking very nonchalant, like he didn't even say anything unusual.
Miranda's just going to follow. She's still out there.
Right.
By the way, Aaron is like, nah, he's got broadswords back there. I'm not going back there.
Is there a ramp or anything, John, to get back there?
Yeah, you'd be able to.
Will kind of turn around before following, and she'll kind of glance over her shoulder at Samantha.
Who's rolling up now? She waves.
She'll wave again. So does this church have stairs? Is it just stairs, or is there a wheelchair?
I mean, it's got access. It's not great access, but it's there.
She'll make it work.
It's definitely a retrofit because it's an old building.
Gotcha.
People are just gonna.
Samantha's probably the only one who's encountered him before, just because she is a street preacher who deals a lot with the disabled, the needy.
What denomination is he, or is it just general?
He's a Catholic friar.
Okay, yeah, then they probably have. So give everyone a wave and just kind of roll behind.
And he opens up it's a small church. Towards the back, he said there's chambers for about 6 or 8 monks back there, friars, whatever rank and position attends here, but currently it's just myself and 2 younger monks. None of their belongings were touched, however.
So
Nor any points, and he says not that it's large, but the donation box for the church was left alone as well. So it did not seem like they were after money.
Did any of these other monks have valuables that were as sentimental to them as these ones were to you?
No, most of the brothers are still younger. None of them inherited anything and hadn't yet crafted anything of their own of any relevance. Yes, Marcus.
Can I Google this guy and his Bible? Is his Bible on the net anywhere?
I mean, there's like some pictures referencing him. A couple of them, he is holding an older Bible. Most of the articles talk about him as an example of what the church is supposed to be, that sort of thing, that he's seems to be a very people-oriented, live the simple life, give back to the community type. But there are a couple that have pictures of him holding an older Bible that would definitely fit the description.
Is there any sign of forced entry?
Oh, well, there was definitely a window broke out that boarded over. And then he does make reference to that.
John, he'll basically open his eye. He'll open his eye. He'll look around, see if there's anybody in there with him, and then he will reach out and see if there's any. Is there any tech that shouldn't be in his place?
Not. I mean, it seems pretty appropriate for where he's at. You know, he's got he does have a like a cell phone, not a brand new one, but a smartphone type, and that seems to be about it for real new stuff. There's an older laptop. And he gestures and he says most of it was on the on or in the nightstand here when it was taken. I was not in here because I was working on the cathedral itself. He kind of chuckles and he says, although it's been a long time since this was considered a cathedral, but it's still what they call it, even though it's more of a small street chapel. He's got a couple pictures on the nightstand, and there's one on the wall, and he says, it's me when I graduated, and it's a pretty old picture, somewhat faded. He says, when I finished seminary school, which there's a cross that I carved and Bible under it in the one hand, the rosary around my neck. I only ever really left the rosary when I was doing my cleaning. I didn't want to risk damage. to it, so it seems like unusual. Someone managed to come in just while I was busy.
So this is a picture of you with the stuff. See?
Yes.
Gracias, gracias. Bien, bien. Miranda opens her purse and she reaches in, pulls her hand back like she got zapped, and then she reaches in a bit further over and pulls out a small razor blade.
All right.
Avalon, you really need to start carrying this phone. I do not like the telephone. It's very bad.
I can take the cell phone.
Muchas gracias, señorita. Mi amor.
She'll reach in and take the cell phone from Miranda's purse.
I feel better already.
Does the cell phone have a camera on it?
I would assume so.
Well,
Pretty hard to find one that doesn't these days.
right. I make no assumptions. So, Avalon is going to take a picture of the picture so they at least have something to reference later.
All right. Seems reasonable.
Instead of trying to commit it all to memory.
Is there a mirror in this room? Preferably a small one.
He's got, I'm sure, a small mirror somewhere.
Like a small hand mirror?
Yeah, I would say you can find one somewhere.
Muy bien. I am going to have a moment alone. Is there a spot where I can have some privacy with the pictures? Muchas gracias.
He kind of looks at you and he says, perhaps the rear garden would be best rather than in the church itself.
Oh, bien, gracias. Do you mind if I take this with me for a moment? I promise I will not hurt them. I am not going to hurt them or anything. I will even clean the mirror when I am done.
He gestures and says, the just out of the room there's the second door on your right. Will lead you back to the meditation gardens.
Awesome. Miranda's going to take the pictures and the mirror and head out to the meditation gardens until she is alone, or at least Avalon doesn't bother her, but the others she doesn't know. She's seen one of them vaguely once, but she was focused on other stuff at that time, so she's like, kind of looks familiar, but I could totally be wrong.
When she leaves, the friar will look at the detective and say, I'm hoping you can have more success than some of your fellow officers.
Well, I'm happy to give it a shot and have a look around. Do you mind if I look around the building here?
He says, no, you're more than welcome to. We hadn't had any success when they looked, but perhaps you will see something they didn't.
All right. Do you want an investigation roll?
That would probably be good.
Okay. Perception, wits, or intelligence on that one?
Perception.
Okay.
Can I do a prime set roll?
Yeah, you certainly could.
Okay.
2 successes.
Who else do we still have who hasn't acted? Avalon's been somewhat quiet.
Right, she's kind of looking in the general vicinity of where the objects were taken to see if maybe some kind of clue unintentionally left behind.
You could roll a perception investigation at diff 7.
Okay.
Is it diff 4, I believe, for the prime site?
Yeah. No, not here.
Okay.
You will have a diff. Let me check here.
She's gonna just kind of hold her cross and rub it, and just like say some prayers in Latin.
Marcus, you never went in the room, correct?
You am correct.
I assume you are doing other things while they are inside chatting.
Yes. I did take Google's. The Google said nothing. So then I checked for tech. There is no odd tech here. So now he's just kind of walking around looking for hidden things with matter 1. He has it looks like a stud finder, but it's been modified.
Okay. So you're in the main church area, not back in this room. Okay.
So Miranda's going to use her correspondence 2 route to find the items.
Okay.
Since it's a route, it drops it to 2 or to 3, or back to 3 since it's a 2. If I did the math right.
Great. Let me pull up my charts on that. It would be a diff 4 for your prime site because you are a Christian practitioner. So.
And I had 3 successes on that.
What do you want, doggo?
I got 3 as well.
Did Miranda roll her out or not yet?
No, I was waiting for confirmation on what the diff was.
All right. Because you are outside, I assume you're trying to scry the location based on through the mirror.
Mm-hmm.
So it would be a difficulty 5, but you'll need at least 3 successes.
Okay, and my cult doesn't count into this, right?
What's that?
My cult doesn't count in this?
Correct, because you're not present. But you can't spend more than 1 round, remember.
Totally. I'm still going to use a willpower for the first round of it.
Which, fair enough.
I got 3 successes on I'm using my stud finder to find odd things in the place.
Okay.
So is that 5 before or after the fact that it's a rote?
Before, so it would drop to 4.
All right, perfect.
Alright.
I have 1 success for the first round.
Alright, I'm going to work my way through everyone else while you work your rounds through. Milan had 2 successes on the investigation. Avalon had 3 successes on her investigation. And then we have a prime site. So with the prime site, since that's the easiest one, the friar's room will show up as infused with magical energies.
The room itself?
Yes.
Okay.
As well as apparently a sword that he is carrying under his robes.
Man's ready to roll.
Avalon, your 3 successes in the area of the where the items were taken. You will find a. You can see that the drawer had been forced open. It seems like it was probably latched or locked.
Okay.
It does have a basic lock on it, but you're not sure on the details. But it was forced open because it's a wooden nightstand. It looks like they splintered it or got a sliver, something to that effect.
Okay.
And then on you would find some footprints outside the window, as well as pieces of broken glass.
Is there any blood on the glass?
That will be a second investigation roll.
Okay.
And Aaron looking for hidden spaces. There's a couple of spaces in the church that could be used to hide people, like not even really a whole hidden room, but a small area. And then you find a couple other small, like where the old stones have been damaged or moved, pulled out, that things could be stashed behind them.
Okay. I'll pop if finding them reveals how they work. Also, I assume it does. Yes or no? He'll look in them, see if there's anything in there.
Yeah, I mean, most of them is just a matter of pulling the stones out, but if you didn't know, I mean, you'd never know they were any different unless you knew to look there. Some of them have small stashes of herbs or small goods. Some of them seem to be meaningless trinkets, but you do find small stashes of money in some of them. Most of the larger ones don't have much of anything, but you could see, I mean, there's breadcrumbs and stuff, like maybe people were hiding in there somewhat recently. And in one of them, you do find a number of weapons.
Like firearms or like swords and axes and stuff?
Mostly swords, that sort of thing. And being you are from here, you would know that guns are
only illegal to people who care.
Well, right. Those are illegal by law, whereas melee weapons, historical weapons, that sort of thing are not regulated.
Father, is there a reason you have an arsenal on the wall here?
Yeah. So you guys will all hear that in the back room.
I didn't find your Bible, but I found a bunch of swords.
He comes out and he says, well, of course, the Bible teaches us the good Lord protects. Doesn't dictate whether or not he uses 440 carbon steel. I think it'd be awful rude of me to assume he's going to do the job for me when he provides the means and skills to do it for myself.
Samantha will smirk a bit with that. Do any of them have magic on them?
None of the ones out here do, no.
Okay.
Okay, so you weren't looking for these. You knew they were here?
Well, of course.
Okay. He just closes it back casually.
Be awful irresponsible to keep those sort of items in the bedroom.
I agree. Children are stupid. I find that I hate them less than regular humans, though.
He looks at you and says, I really wish I could disagree with you. But in my experience, children are far more honest.
I have found that my conversations with them are much more enlightening than grown adults.
That's also
Plus, they can be bribed with candy.
fair and reasonable. Which says, well, I guess I've never thought of that, but I imagine that would be true. I don't make it a habit to bribe children at all, but...
Well, no. Whenever I'm going to do something obscenely destructive, I always let the children leave. Their parents are morons. They deserve what they get.
Yeah, he looks at you and he goes, you are a refreshingly blunt individual.
I don't have a lot of time. Why waste words? So, I'm going to ask you a very strange question. I've been honest with you. I assume you'll be honest with me.
He looks and he goes, I think we have already ran a fair list of strange questions. What's one more?
It looks to the left, looks to the right. Shake, shake, shake. And he says it. I'll use forces, and he'll be the only one who hears this. Because magic, bitches.
And you're still in the church itself, correct? Not you didn't go into the room?
Yeah.
Got it.
I'm going to use magic.
Because reality zones.
Yeah, I hate you. So my difficulty is like 7,000 because I'm inside a church.
No, the church is fine. His room is a different story.
He basically pulls out his cell phone and he taps and he says, "Are you strange? Are you a supernatural creature?" Send.
He just kind of looks at you and
don't worry about how I got your number. Just answer the question.
He says, God has granted me gifts that are rarely shared in this day and age.
The options were yes and no.
Ability to work his...
He waits.
Oh, I was thinking he was replying out loud, but if you sent it, he would have your number. So he would reply accordingly. He said, I am a member in good standing of the Knights Templar Order.
Knights Templar, question mark. Thought they were all dead. Enter.
He replies, of the disparate alliance of, I believe the commonly used term is mages, wheel workers.
Oh, this is much easier then.
Meanwhile, we have
Miranda has 4 successes.
all right, so that would get you up to you would see a small room, and it is set definitely, or you can assume underground, scrying it, and there's a number of what appear to be storage lockers that have similar items from various faiths. You would also see torture implements, medieval type, in there.
Oh, pendejas, you got so much trouble. She's gonna try and move her point of view around to like see if she can find her, like try and follow the. She'll basically be walking in the real world. You work with the mirror to move her point of view with the mirror around where it's at to try and like follow the pathway so she can find her way in to there. If that makes sense.
So you're trying to move your perception outward from that space.
She wants to try and follow the path out of that space to a place that she can recognize to be able to get back in.
Wait, let me.
Do I need to roll some more stuff?
Yeah, I'm trying to think how best to handle that. If you're just going spatial.
Aaron goes, hello, everyone here. Excuse me. Pardon me. Everyone.
Samantha looks to him.
Avalon kind of glances over at him.
Now, I normally do not advocate helping people. However, this person I'm going to help. But if we are all looking for the same thing, temporarily at least, I would suggest we work together.
Okay.
Sounds fine by me.
Now, do any of you have any abilities that would be useful here? And I don't mean the mundane kind, because I don't have a lot of time. At least in this one incident, you do not have to elaborate, because I know all you people are very secretive. Be generalistic. I won't ask any questions. If you say you can do it, I'll just say okay. All right?
Uh-huh.
Now, can anyone see things really far away from here? I don't need to know how. Can you do it?
I'll look out the window. What's the furthest building away?
I mean, there's just generic office buildings and stuff. You're in a kind of a downtown inner city type area.
Okay. She'll point to the furthest one. I can see that one.
Thank you. That was so helpful. I want to help the nice man find his Bible. I hear these things are important. Does anyone have any clues that they want to share with the rest of us? I promise, even though I only like money, I will listen. My name is Aaron.
Did Milan find any blood on the glass at all?
You did.
Okay. I'm going to use taste for blood.
Okay.
Trying to see what it is I'm rolling for that.
I believe it's willpower.
Should be if it's thaumaturgy.
Okay. Standard. Standard.
Oh, John, I sent you a message on the side.
Difficulty for taste for blood would be 4 because it's our first level.
Oh, okay.
Alright, who sent me messages nowhere?
Oh, that's Ridley. All right, we'll just use the other one. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, 7.
Who sent me a side message? Oh, there it is.
Yep.
So 4 successes.
Was Avalon doing anything specific after she found the nightstand? Or
She's going to look to see if there are any marks specifically that might indicate what may have forced it open.
Well, it looks like somebody probably used like a screwdriver to pry it open or something. Some sort of hand tool.
Okay.
And Aaron's still just standing there waiting.
Well, he's looking at his watch, and he's timing something.
So what are you thinking so far?
I'm thinking that this person here, he points at the priest, has objects here that other people wanted, so they stole it. They took them elsewhere. There's probably a way to find those people, or if they left any clues, because apparently the police have not been to investigate yet, so any clues would still be here. My theory is that if we were to reconnoiter the area and use our perceptive skills, we might find a clue that they missed, or we might find something that they left behind, and then use that to locate where they are. However, we must understand that if they were able to get into he says, he checks John. There's no security stuff in the room, right?
No, he doesn't have any kind of security equipment or anything, no.
I assume you have some way to keep people out of your room that you don't want to be there?
Yeah, says, well, generally I start by locking the door and windows.
I don't mean that. Assume when I ask something that's obvious that I'm not talking about something mundane, and just answer yes or no. You don't have to get into specifics.
He says, well, I'm not Good
Think
with
about it.
good with those types of blessings. So other than a basic protection of a don't come here type of wording.
So someone would have had to be able to bypass that, yes?
Somewhat, yes. Although those with strong will or mind are capable of doing so.
So anyone who broke into your apartment would have had to your dwelling would have had to be more than human, yes?
He thinks and he says, I have seen the average person able to bypass those if they are deeply committed to doing so. Desperation or extreme commitment to a cause.
So someone who probably doesn't like you or your kind knew that you had this book here, was sufficiently engaged enough to bypass your awards, and then just kind of broke the lock and took your book. Yes?
That would probably accurately sum it up.
Who doesn't like you?
Yeah. Chuckles and says, might be a shorter list to say who does, but I get your meaning. I probably would say my biggest opposition comes from some of the more extreme members of my own church.
So an emotional reason for someone to take the item would be something like, you do not deserve this thing, so we're going to take it.
Has anyone of the faith been excommunicated here?
He says, I don't deal in excommunication. But there are those who have been in the past.
Do any of them have reason to not like you besides that?
He says, I'm a preacher who caters to the poor, who accepts those of other faiths. In short, anyone who is a zealot on either side or who has a vested interest in profit through the church tends to not like me.
She nods.
Did I get anything with the taste for blood roll?
Sorry, I knew there was something else we were running.
I was still waiting to find out what I need to do to move my point of view.
So let's start with the taste for blood. It was definitely a non-vampire who was fairly healthy and did not have any major blood loss.
Okay.
As far as moving your point of view, your current anchor was the objects. Now you know enough details about the room itself that you could try to scry that. Basically, you do a scrying to see what surrounds the room.
Okay.
Based on your practice, you can basically scry surroundings of an object you know. You've now seen the room, so you could use that as a object to describe the surroundings and try and get better context from there.
Okay. Same difficulty?
It would be the same difficulty. We will need... I would say 4 successes, because you've only kind of visited the room basically once.
Okay. First one has 3 successes.
Well, that'll get it done quickly.
And now it makes 5.
Alright, well, that'll be enough. You would see other rooms surrounding it. There seems to be like a small complex almost. Some of them seem to be kind of utility oriented or tied to service tunnels, that sort of thing.
Can I like draw a layout of what I'm seeing in the dirt? So I have a reference point to show other people when I'm finished?
Yeah, you could at least get a basic layout.
Like square, this is a room. There has a tunnel, goes off over here. Tunnel here.
Right.
Stuff is in this room. Okay, that's what she's going to do then. And once she's getting close to done with that, she's going to yell for Avalon.
What?
You hear Miranda yell, Mija! Mija!
Avalon will walk out of the room she is in to go greet Miranda.
Miranda's outside, kneeling in the dirt.
Okay, and she kind of looks around and starts heading for the outside, being as that's where her voice is coming from.
Mija!
Find her, and she will follow her voice until she finds her.
Chica, ¿dónde está? Aquí, por favor.
I'm here.
Oh, I'm just gonna say somebody, and then that's the end of. Okay. And as she sets the mirror down, you'll probably see an image of the room and stuff fade from it. So this is the layout of the place where this stuff is kept at, and I believe they are actually through the tunnels. Remember where the kids were, the young people were killed? I believe if we go in the tunnels there, that will lead to this entrance or possibly this entrance. I'm not exactly 100% sure which one it will come into, but this is the layout of the place that it is. The stuff is in this room over here.
You think it is in the torture museum?
There are torture devices in there. But this feels like it is underground. So I'm very certain it is in the sewers. Like in those tunnels under there. Because that's where they came from when Morgan's blade and them were taken. Because they were doing the ritual over in the park. And they come from there. And that is where they came from. And then, so they probably went back in that way. Because that is where they are heading. See.
All right.
Everybody else would have heard somebody yelling Mija as well if you wanted to follow.
That's not English.
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
Hey, John, do I need a separate roll to look at the footprint that was outside the window as well?
No, I mean it's definitely just it's a boot, like a hiking boot type pattern, something with a deeper tread.
Given the height from the window and the depth of the print, does it give me any indication of the size of the wearer?
Not specifically. It was definitely an adult.
Okay.
But you don't get anything beyond that that would say, it was, you're not able to gauge like a specific weight, but it was definitely a full-grown adult to be able to reach the window adequately and to be able to act or get in and out.
From the perspective of where he's at, he looks around to see if there is anywhere that would have had exterior security cameras that may have caught where the window was.
All right, you can give me an investigation for that if you'd like.
So take a picture, or if you have a card or something, chica.
You want her to take a picture of what you're seeing?
Of the dirt, the map in the dirt.
The dirt. Oh, yes. She'll take a picture of the map in the dirt.
All right.
Phone.
So the priest would look at Aaron and say, "I apologize. I can't be more help. This is outside the gifts that I have been granted."
Yes, you beat the crap out of people with a great big sword. I find things.
He kind of looks almost a little embarrassed, and he says, "No, my blade work is not my primary gift either. It's one I've developed out of necessity, but I've put my emphasis on learning how to aid people, soothe a troubled mind, help calm those who have suffered trauma in the past, physical or primarily mental."
You help people who've made bad life decisions. Okay.
Sometimes it is their own decisions. Other times they have been the victim of someone else's poor decisions. But
If someone tells you to do something, and you decide to go with them, and it was dumb, you decided to go with them. That was your decision.
and when you have been struck by a drunk driver, that is not your decision. When you have been assaulted in your home, that was not your decision either.
I'm aware of that.
But you still suffer consequences.
I'm very aware of the obvious of the things you just told me. I don't know why you told me.
Because those are often the victims that I aid.
Oh.
I try to help with rehabilitative therapy. I'm no doctor. I will not pretend I heal. But I can sometimes help people adjust.
You hold that thought. Did anybody find anything that needs to be analyzed? I have my kit here. Does anybody find anything that needs to be analyzed?
Can you analyze blood?
Is it still in the person?
No.
Then yes.
Check this out. Hands a shard of glass over
That is a shard of glass.
with blood on it.
That's not sanitary. Oh my God. You assume this came from the culprit?
Pretty sure.
And you've already done whatever hoodoo you do, whatever sort of thing you know how to do, and it didn't tell you anything. Yes?
That is correct.
Okay. Now I'm going to do what it is that I can do, but I'm not going to tell you what it is because that's the contract that we have betwixt the two of us. Yes?
Works for me.
Right. Let me get my kit. He ambles over to a box. It looks like a box with a handle on it, like a briefcase. And he he taps a sequence and he slides out a piece of it. He flips it over and he opens it up, and it looks like something you can drop the thing into, if you don't mind.
Okay. Does it?
He closes it. He pushes a button. A light comes on the inside of it, and it kind of shines a bunch of funny colors. And there is a readout of a sequence of numbers on the top of it. It looks like somebody took a bunch of things and cobbled them together rather nicely, but this was made by someone. Now I get to make matter checks. Yay, matter. Hey, John, I'm about to become an expert in chemistry and a whole bunch of other stuff right quick. Give me a second. Can I roll perception plus investigation at the lower difficulty of the roll?
Sure. Well, you guys are doing that. The friar goes out to the gardens and he says, I'm going to assume that whatever you were doing did not involve any sort of demons. I do not judge others' paths, but would hope that...
Do you see any demons here, senor? I see absolutely 0 demons. That is the word 0.
He says, unfortunately, the sight of demons is not a skill I've been granted.
No, if you're talking about the spirits on the other side, I can see them, but they are not involved in this. No, I was looking where they were, and I have a map right here, and it's no big deal. We can find it. We're going to have to go in the tunnels over at either this point over here at the park, or we're going to have to go into some other place and make our way to this point. But I have a map of the place, a rough layout, and kind of know what is for where. And then I know in the room where the stuff is kept, and it's all your stuff and this stuff from several other places, from different denominations, not just your peoples, but like our peoples and other peoples. But just so you know, it is not us or you or them or the other side of you that is doing this. There's actually like another group that is trying to create infighting amongst us to hide themselves. So if you know anybody who does this next worshipy stuff, that is the people you need to keep your eyes open for. So be careful. See?
That wasn't in English. None of that. It was very fast, and none of it was in English.
She's very excited.
My thing beeped like a microwave. It goes ding, and so, John, what did I analyze from this glass and this blood? What do I know?
Blood makeup is appropriate for a human male. Which hasn't been there long based on the deterioration levels of the sample.
Is this glass is this glass funky? Is this special magical glass? Is this a glass from someplace else that if you can run some sort of diagnostic thing, I can do that.
I mean, you could compare it to the other glass of the area, but it seems to be a window. Piece of the window from the bedroom.
So they came in through the window, is what we know. Out of character? I mean, in character, that's what all this evidence is pointing to, is they came in through the window?
Correct. You would also have enough details in that sample that if you were provided another sample, you could compare it and confirm whether the other sample were the same individual.
Did they give us enough information to put a time frame on it?
It was. Okay, go ahead.
I'm good.
Okay. You would Marcus would be able to at least date the sample. It's
I ain't got time, but I can make a investigation roll.
You could mechanically date it, carbon date type. Science, not magic.
Well, I happen to have that. Do I need to roll it? Because I can.
Yeah, you would, if you want to identify.
You want me to make a science roll or an investigation roll with my specialty in crime scenes?
Crime scene specialty would work.
What plus investigation?
Let's go with the intelligence.
Is this considered numbers?
Yes.
So 7.
Oh, John, I'm going to do Spirit Sight, just to see if there's anything. Got 1 success.
All right. 1 success on a spirit sight. In the church, there are some like lesser healing spirits. Nothing terribly unusual. It's a small Christian church.
Okay. May I ask another question? To the group.
In
With
character.
that, what happened?
In character, out of character.
In character.
Okay.
May I ask you all a question?
Sure.
¿Por qué?
It's
By hook or by crook, have any of you sussed out the exact location?
Sí.
Okay. If you would be so kind, could you give me an address?
No.
Right.
I have the location. I don't have a address. Do you even know that? I don't even know if there's an address. Do you have an address in the sewers? I don't think you have an address in the sewers.
Okay, sewers, good. Would you happen to be able to
I have
point
a
out
map.
any sort of... Oh, really?
Sí.
I like maps. Maps are cool. Is it in English?
It is in dirt.
It's made the laugh.
Is that a language that I don't know about? The dirt language.
No, it's literally written in the dirt. I was looking to the mirror to look at the places on, and it's like, oh, I look pretty today, and I saw the map in the floor and out in the garden. It's very beautiful, and I see.
He has a look on his face that says,
I have a photo of the map as well.
one moment. I need to talk to a satellite. May I see your map? Photo? I
Sure,
promise not to
I'll
take
put
all your
a photo
information off of this phone. Is it on a phone? I don't want your number.
It's fine.
Do you
She'll
want free
open up
self-service
the
forever?
picture on the phone.
John, can I use my brain to try and get a geographical location, like to geotag this thing?
Sure.
Okay, let me roll 5 dice and pray for the best.
I believe the entrance is over in the park where the kids were killed, and that is kind of a special place because that's where Morgan and them came from, and so it is.
I got a success.
To get into that. ¿Por qué?
Out of character, I got a success.
Oh.
You got
Johnny.
a success?
I got a success. You want me to roll some more?
With the single success, you'd at least be able to you can correlate pieces of the map to city planning tunnels.
One moment, I'm checking the city planning tunnels. These people should not have my hot sexy woman as their password. That's odd. I don't know why they do that.
Were there any outside security cameras from like the surrounding buildings? Did we see any of that?
There were not. The area of town is not terribly conducive to it, unfortunately.
Okay.
It's perception. Darn, Marcus. Okay, 5 successes total. I'm sifting. Am I able to put together an actual physical address?
You're not able to find an address, but you are able to correlate. Basically, you can overlay it to a map of the service tunnels, utility tunnels, that sort of thing, and pinpoint where it would be.
Okay. Does anyone have a really big car?
No.
No.
That's troublesome because there are a lot of us. I can Uber.
I've got a regular size car.
I don't think I can get in the source.
Well, that's a problem.
It is.
Oh, and just so you know, when you go down there will probably be snakes. I hope nobody has a problem with snakes. There might be very big snakes and very dangerous snakes because these people tend to seem to worship snakes. So I want you to know that ahead of time. Muy poquito.
Someone say, what was that? All that. Someone.
There could be snakes in the sewer.
She did not say that.
She did.
Oh, but she did.
Marcus, you would also recognize that the service tunnels connect up to the subway system as well.
We can take the subway. Well, we go down to the subway and then we get off the subway and go this whole different way. It's in the city. That's not important. Does anyone want to come along and continue to search for the items? Or do you want to tell some people with really big guns where this stuff is and they can go get it?
Leave that up to the friar.
Yes, it is his stuff. Friar!
If you're supposed to get this stuff for him, leave the friar out of this. It's no longer his problem. It is now our problem to. Besides, it's not just his stuff there. There's stuff from the museum that was stolen, breaking into. There is stuff from the other people in the different religions that were taken from. There is very more stuff in there.
Okay. All right. I understand that. So don't blow up the sewer. Right. So my demolitions kit is right out. So we want to go and get the stuff in the sewer and bring it back. 2 problems. No big car. Now I can go steal one, but I think some of you would have a problem with that.
Yes.
See?
I don't.
You're go requisition me a car. You're a policeman. Go get me one.
I don't care. You do it. I'm not doing it.
No, you're a policeman. Go requisition one. Call someone and say you need emergency commandeer something policey.
Well, I've got the cruiser out there. It'll fit 5 of us.
But it won't fit all the stuff because there's stuff.
Got a big trunk. How much stuff are we talking?
A lot of stuff. Whole lot of stuff. And snakes.
All right. Milan hops on the phone and calls someone. Marty, is that what his name is? Don?
Yeah, that would probably be your best bet.
Ask him if he can send someone down with a box truck. Fills him in on the whole situation.
Just don't tell somebody I don't know. It's ridiculous.
What, I guess, what is the extent that you are filling him in?
I didn't catch that. Sorry.
What is the extent of how much you're filling him in?
Yeah, all of it. Telling him we found where the friar's stuff is.
Is he on the phone when he does this?
I'm assuming he said he was calling.
Yeah.
Your phone stops working. I'll roll dice.
Dice are good.
Can we have Miranda touch it?
Let's see. What's the difficulty of this one for my brain, John?
I assume you're just gonna try to short circuit it.
No, just turn it off.
Oh, that's just a diff 5.
I got no successes. I gotta try again.
It's a cell phone. Just do an emergency update.
Why can I never find the number key?
It's a Windows phone. It doesn't ask if you want to update. It just does it.
I love my Windows phone.
I got 5 successes.
Nice.
4. Sorry, 4. And I'll say, he'll call you back. And hangs up.
Get your own box truck then.
Okay. 1, that was mean. 2, we don't know how many. We don't know a lot of things. Can we just not tell everybody the things that we do know? Because, yes, humans are duplicitous.
Whatever. My shift's almost over.
I don't know what any of that means. No, you said it, and I assume you think it means something, so what are you saying in addition to the obvious thing that you're saying?
I'm saying that I am on the clock, and I'm here because I was sent here, and I was reporting in and asking for a backup truck.
Yes, I understand that, but when we involve ourselves in outside of friends,
Outside of the Super Friends team that just formed just now?
I mean, if that's the label you want to give it, I'll allow it. But just for the sake of argument, let's assume that people have connections to things. And for a moment, we'll assume that this is a larger operation than we're aware of that has a large group of members and ability, because apparently they have their own box truck because they have a lot of things.
All right,
So,
fine. Box truck, then we'll just take that and the stuff.
we will take their truck too. Yes, when we get down there, I'm sure that they will have one available, and we will take it. Yes, right. Who's going with me to the sewer? Because that seems like a fine idea.
Fuck it, I'll go.
I mean, the subway. They can get
See?
Is that did she say yes? Did she say yes?
See?
Yes, she did.
Right. Now, not being specific, but who knows how to punch and fight in things?
That's something I can sort of do.
Right? See, you know how to be vague. Me and you can be friends. Okay, so you would be our front line vague warrior person. Yes, who is a perceptive person.
Samantha raises her hand.
Ah, it would be you, wouldn't it? Yes, so you will be our eyes and be wary of things. Yes. Mr. Policeman, I assume you have armament.
I got some.
Can you bring it and use it tonight?
Sure.
Right. Also,
Can I see it?
No.
It might help.
Why?
translator woman, you with the vaguely non the person.
My
who
name
doesn't
is
speak-
Avalon.
Yes, thank you. Designation. Can you translate this for me to her? Is she
Translate
going?
what?
Speak.
Okay. Are you going to go crazy at any point in the bottom of the subway.
Is that a character?
She just kind of like looks at Miranda because she knows that Miranda knows exactly what he said.
There's a nicer way to say that, but I don't know what it is.
See, I will. And it'll be happening when I kick you in the balls because I'm tired of your shit tonight.
Was that yes
No.
or no? Okay, so now we all know our parts.
Hey, John. I'm assuming the cruiser has a shotgun in it, right?
In America, they do.
Right. I'm not an Amsterdam cop. I don't know what they carry. I know I've got my own personal, but I don't know if there's anything else in the car that he could bring along.
I know London cops don't carry.
That's true.
There's no chance that searching Amsterdam police loadout is going to put me on a list somewhere.
Oh, I'm sure not. No, it'll probably be fine.
You're
Not
hanging,
on
out hanging out in the woods with that whip with the taser on the end of it. So you don't give a hell about being on somebody's list. Poor Holly. Every time someone turns on a toaster, she shivers. Sorry, that was bad.
To maintain public order, police officers in the Netherlands are issued a 9mm service pistol, short baton, and pepper spray.
Nice.
Guess that's what I got.
Sweet. Let's. I'm supposed to say that as an exclamation of joy and or appreciation or adoration, so that people feel comfortable around me. Because humans. Let's go.
All right, let's do this.
Dun, 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 dun. Super friends. Dun.
Would this be a good place for me to bow out, I think?
If you'd like to.
Yeah, I gotta go to bed.
Happy sleeping.
All right. See you guys.
Was that the wheelchair or the cop?
Yeah.
Wheelchair.
Okay.
Totally did a wheelie down the ramp.
Squeak! Sorry, that was unprofessional.
Good times.
Cop doesn't have much longer, though, either.
All right, so we go into the subway. We know where it's at. We got addresses and stuff.
All
That's
right.
true. So you guys are just going to hop the subway, get off at the nearest station to this location, and follow service tunnels from there?
Mm-hmm.
I kind of has an internal map. Do they have? Wait, do they have like 24-hour stores here?
Yeah.
Cool.
Convenient
do.
store.
Yeah, he looks. He goes, "Who has money?"
What do you need?
I can't see in the dark.
A flashlight?
Sure.
¿Por qué?
So I can see in the dark, because there's probably going to be dark.
I think we can assume that the police car would have a flashlight in it.
That only seems logical.
All right, cool. We have a flashlight. Cool. Let's go down there.
One of those big-ass ones that you can beat people with.
Nice.
He does open up his case, and when he opens up his case, he has. Okay, it's really weird. Folded up on the inside of them are three. They look like the suits that people, mechanics outfits that people wear, and they're like the universal. Like you climb into this thing. Like it looks like something a crime scene, a CSI would have, except these are made out of like material. They look like mechanics outfits. He goes, if you each want to wear one of these, you can.
Yeah, well, I'll take one.
All right.
He doesn't want his fancy clothes getting all pooped up.
Yes, of course. That's what they do. He just zips up his jacket. It puts on some gloves. They're the universal, so anybody can put one on and just step into it. They all say Aaron on the outside of it.
Of course they do.
Be terribly confusing for anyone who sees us.
I know, right? Strategery. John, you know what they do.
They do.
Don't laugh at me. That's all I have. And for some odd reason, Aaron's carrying a taser.
Oh, great.
Miranda has the razor blade.
Once we're actually in there, I guess.
Who puts one on?
Well,
Once we get in there, Miranda would.
Yeah, we all will. Sounds like I heard.
Just to be safe.
Yep.
So you guys navigate the service tunnels, come to the area where basically it looks like a big access hatch. It's labeled like high voltage, do not enter, permit required type business.
Is there really high voltage coming off of it? Like he scans it.
No.
He walks up to it and touches it. There's no high voltage. They're liars. Is it locked?
The panel does have a lock on it, yes, like a mechanical lock.
He pulls like a little piece off of his briefcase again. He like hits it 2 times, and you see a little piece slide out. And he pulls out like this bar. It looks like it's about as long. You know those old school skeleton keys? It's a bar as long as that. And he walks over to the lock. Is it like a key lock, John? Or is it like electronic?
No, it's a key lock.
Do any of you know how to pick locks?
Not really.
Or were you going to punch it? Because if you were going to punch it, I'll move out of the way instead of opening it. No. I know people who punch things like to punch things, so I don't want to be in the way of the punching.
I mean, I could try.
Well, please, by all means,
Fair.
strong at it.
Hold my beer.
Throw high potence into that. So we can have 6 dice. What's the diff?
It'd be standard difficulty to hit it.
All right. I got 2 successes.
All right. You would roll damage.
Oh boy.
That's strength components +1.
Yep. Four.
All right. I gotta find that nifty table. For object hardness and stuff. for PDF searches. Well, you're going to do some significant... I mean, you dent the door, but... do
I
not
thought you were
break it
just
up.
punching the lock.
Oh, the lock? Were you going for the lock or for the door itself?
Mic check, Holly.
Hello?
Were you punching the lock or the door?
The lock.
Got it. All right. Well,
Try to
then
break
the
it
lock breaks.
open.
The lock will break.
Yeah. So when it's open, I guess push the door open.
All right. Door opens and it's clearly not an access tunnel or an access panel for something, as behind it is a dimly lit tunnel. Basically, there are service lights for it, and that's it.
Okay.
Oh, excuse me. I assume you guys are going to proceed down the tunnel.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
Looking for clues. You want a perception or something?
You can do a perception investigation if you want.
Okay.
Wait, what are we rolling? A perception? What?
Investigation.
Sorry, brain farted. 4. Okay. Oh. My epic 1.
I'm back. What I miss?
Perception investigation roll.
Who makes those?
Us, apparently.
People looking for clues. I'm just watching out for snakes or other animals.
Yes, watch for animals. That could be helpful.
Stop that. You just stop that. Holly hit me in the face with the sarcasm. It hurt. What's the difficulty, John?
It's standard.
Oh, and John, I'm also activating Auspex.
All right.
I got 3 successes, and things look like they're about to get serious. He pulls out a set of glasses that have the ones with with no lenses, just have the little red lights in the corner.
I do.
He will put those on.
Alrighty.
Double watching my perk alert.
A double botch.
On perception alertness, watching out for trouble.
Yeah, you don't see squat.
I had a whopping 1 success, so.
Alright. Well, with 1 success, you would at least be able to see down the hallway and stuff. And
Okay.
you don't see any sign of people. At least not that are present, I should say. You see sign people have been here.
Right, just not currently.
Right.
So heading down the hall.
I assume you guys continue down, having not seen anything.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Just keep walking. Just keep walking.
For a bit, John, I can see in the dark.
All right. You guys continue on down the hallway with
It's a long way.
no sign of anybody. And why don't you give me a high-low? Who's leading? Why did I close my roll tab?
Pretty
Avalon,
sure.
she said so.
Yep, I was gonna say I'm pretty sure I was the one that was supposed to be in front.
Great. Well, then you give me a high-low.
Oh, goody. Low.
All right. Well, as you get closer, you do hear a couple of voices coming from inside, or from a room ahead of you. It doesn't sound like they've noticed you yet.
And she's going to stop. And she's going to put a hand to her ear to indicate for them to listen. And she's going to point.
Right?
We hear, like, what's going on? Are they talking? Is it just shuffling? Or what?
They appear to be just talking. They appear to be discussing, or just like regular conversation. You can't make out all of it, but they do mention needing to recruit further. Potential sales is mentioned. And there's a discussion of servants.
Okay. As a precaution, because, yeah, I'm going to activate my laws.
Okay.
So I have to check my willpower here. Okay.
Miranda's gonna activate Spirit Sight.
3 successes.
You guys have Aaron stops and people are doing all kinds of weird signals or whatever, and he opens up his case and he pulls out these little earbuds and he gives each of them one, and he starts talking in your head. He goes, "What did any of that mean?"
Were we all able to hear the conversation?
Yeah, at least you have aspects up, don't you?
Yeah.
So you would have heard all of it. Everyone else heard bits and pieces. They were discussing rituals, sacrifices, needing to get more sacrifices, that sort of thing.
Can I make an occult roll to see if I can't pinpoint more or to associate it with something? Does that make sense? Like what specific event they are, I guess. I don't know.
Oh, they don't mention any denomination or faith.
Okay.
So, or any specific details on practices.
All right, then through the earbud thing. All right, Melanda Super Friends. They're talking about sacrifices and relays, all of that. So I think it's go time.
Somehow the voice, and whenever someone speaks, even if it's like a whisper, you guys can hear it in the earbuds. He is relaying it. They're all Bluetooth to his brain, John.
Okay.
So Milan takes his gun out of its holster.
So it's just a regular door?
Ahead of you guys, yeah, just like a regular commercial building door.
Might want to let Tiger intro.
I am going to shoot Tiger a message here.
Perfect.
John, I am attempting to be stealthy. Repeat, I'm attempting to be stealthy.
Well, I will need you guys to roll a stealth check.
Okay.
Brandon's just gonna stay there where she's at. Sneaking is not her forte.
I'm not going to be very good at this either, but I'll give it a go.
I don't even have dice in stealth, so I'm at a higher difficulty for my 2 whole dice.
Assuming you guys are trying to be stealthy. I mean, if you just want to kick in the door, that's an option.
No, Miranda's just standing there.
Sorry. No successes on my stealth roll.
Alright, so you guys have no successes.
Milan had 3.
I probably screwed you guys.
Alright, well, then we need a perk alert for the group inside, don't we?
No, they don't need to hear anything.
That's not good for you guys.
I mean, they can lose 5 dice.
Alright. So, you will hear the voices stop as one of them says, "Did you hear something? Is the patrol supposed to be back?"
Oh, fuck the patrol. Milan aims at the door.
Is the door made out of metal, John? Is
Yeah,
there any-
it's like a commercial office door would be.
He goes, he just raises the taser and he goes, and he puts like the finger up to wait. And then he takes the taser and he shoots the door. He just puts it on the door handle.
All right.
Oh no! There's people out here! And he turns the taser on. He's a
All right. Well, one of them will grab the door handle, so you're gonna have to roll damage because that's automatic.
I'm not a bad person. I'm an evil person. So I'm gonna do that trick that it says you can do.
Okay.
So I'll spend a willpower point. And it's considered minor. So 2, so 3, so that's 8 bashing.
All right.
Wait, there's more. It's way more funny.
I assumed it would be.
Page 438, John.
Okay. I'm conveniently not far away. Sure. It does reference a chart that I don't see.
It's because it's at the end of the stupid chapter with all the other damn stuff.
Got it. So nevertheless, he's stuck there for a while.
I mean, he can make the strength check.
You can try.
A normal taser does 5. I got 3 successes, so it does 8. I mean 7.
Fair enough. Christ, it's all the way at the end of the chapter, ain't it? So he can try to soak it, but it's probably not going to go well for him. He's also stunned for 1 round per health level taken.
Yeah.
So he can't make a strength check until he's not stunned.
I mean, and if someone touches him, well, you know how that works.
I do. Well, so that soaking isn't really a strong suit here. Is that an increased diff to soak? I don't know. I didn't see anything, but I feel like it should be. I'm not gonna worry about it. Well, he soaks 2, so he takes 6. And he is stunned for 6 rounds. And the door doesn't open. In fact, he doesn't even scream, because that's what electricity does.
And he moves out of the way. He goes, and then he does. Now he does the thing, the thing where you like escort people. He goes, and now.
Tiger, from the other side of the door you are on, you will have heard the voices stop, hear them say things, and then you will hear a thunk. And we can either roll an initiative if you guys want, or just establish an action order for my own sanity.
I assume the goons with the goon strength are going to goon the door down.
You guys want to throw an initiative just so we have an order, or you?
Sure.
Otherwise, it's going to be whatever arbitrary order it shows up on my screen, to be honest.
Ooh.
Don't forget to add your dex and wits.
I have a total of 15.
got a 12.
I think there needs to be a roll off there between
Tiger can go first.
Alright, so we have works for me. Alright, so first up to act is Milan, our cop.
I'm gonna hold till the door gets open.
Okay. We'll move to Avalon.
Are they gonna open the door, or do we need to open the door?
What's that? You're gonna open it?
No. I'm waiting for them to open the door.
So are we all holding action till the door opens?
No, I'm gonna do a thing.
Well, let's go to you. Because you'd be next.
Alright, so I'm on the other side of another door, right? Leading to the same room. I'm going to open my door, and I'm going to look for the closest one who is not with me, if that makes sense.
Sure. So there are three people you have never seen, all wearing similar garb. And they are all facing the other door.
Okay. I would like to vicissitude 3 one of them.
Oh boy.
Oh!
All right.
I would like to whip my big dick and hit him upside the head with it.
I do not know subtlety, Marcus. You know this. So that's what, strength, bodycraft, right?
Out here.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm gonna do that. I think it's Div 6 since I'm using bodycraft. Am I wrong in that?
What's that?
Isn't it Div 6 because I'm using bodycraft instead of medicine? Or am I wrong on that?
Sounds right. I'm looking here.
Well, that is also a Dark Ages thing, so if you don't want to use that, that's totally okay.
I can tell you, I have the vampire book open.
You are. I'm assuming to inflict damage.
How is vicissitude on?
Well, yes.
So I would say it's still a Diff 7, but bodycraft would be a specialty.
Okay.
So
just use medicine instead?
do you have the bodycraft skill separately?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So you can roll strength and bodycrafts. I guess I don't recall.
Specialties don't usually affect disciplines.
Right, but bodycraft is from Dark Ages, because I literally just ported this sheet from the Dark Ages game that you were trying to get off your own, John.
Okay.
Yeah, so I would allow bodycrafts at Div 6. That's fine.
Sick.
Just as a secondary skill, basically.
I got 2 successes.
Alright. So, you will inflict 2 lethal damage as his bones twist and tear their way out of him. And the rest of you guys hear a scream from the other side of the door. And you would still see that one guy is like laying on the floor stunned.
Can we open the door now?
You could.
I mean, okay.
So it is, well, it's Miranda's action if she wants to open the door. Otherwise, it would move to you if she
Does the door open towards us or towards them?
It would open towards you guys. So you'd have to pull it open.
Miranda will pull it open and hide behind it.
Okay. So then you guys would see there is one guy who is screaming as bones are sticking out of his body. There is another guy who is standing there with kind of this look of what the fuck is going on. And there's a third guy laying on the ground. He's kind of convulsing, like twitching.
Is initiative? Are we out of initiative, or are we still in initiative?
It would be
It's,
you in initiative.
You. After Miranda.
He looks at the guy and he says, "Unless you want all of this to happen to you, I'd surrender."
He's saying that to
The guy with the what the fuck look.
he's just looking back and forth, and then he just kind of drops to his knees.
So what? Y'all want to do stuff? Y'all still got actions.
Yeah, so then it would be Milan and Avalon have action. So one guy dropped to his knees, the other guy's on the ground convulsing.
Did he drop to his knees as a sign of like surrendering, or did he drop to his knees like he's getting ready to do something?
No, he just, I mean, he's not, it's not like he's drawing a weapon or anything.
All right. I go over and cuff him.
Right? He does not resist.
Okay. So then you got twitching dude and the
Tiger.
other dude.
Yeah, and there's a guy with who's got a very strange appearance. Tiger, if you want to describe your appearance.
Sure. He's got kind of glowing skin. It seems to be glowing a light red at this moment. He's wearing a very dark robe with very intricate white swirls going up and down it. And other than that, other than his face, you can't really see anything about him. He seems to keep it covered. But his eyes are pitch black, and his hair is dark white.
Are you on their team?
Right? Like,
They stole this one's followers. This one is not on their team.
Okay, I'm good with that. The rest of you, are you good with that?
Oh yeah, I'm good with that.
twitchy. Yeah.
Hi, we're team non-specific. You don't have to get into specifics. We're good with that. So, do you have some stuff that they stole too?
I'm just gonna look around and see if I can find my guys.
There's another, you can see another door leading deeper into this kind of compound. So you would guess they're back there.
Presumably the ones they stole are down there. From me, at least. Or from
Luckily, we have this handy-dandy person to question. Hi, we're going to do very bad things to you if you're not honest. So, What's down there?
He says, well, that's the holding areas.
Where are the artifacts that you've stolen and pilfered?
The other guy is still screaming, mind you, as the bones are sticking out.
Can I fleshcraft his mouth shut?
What's that?
Can I fleshcraft his mouth shut?
Sure.
Please do. You get mad cool points for that.
I just picture like the scene of Neo from The Matrix.
You want me to roll for it?
I'm fine with it. You're not in any kind of stressful environment, so.
Okay. Zorian will just walk over to him and command him to be quiet and then pass a hand over his mouth and just seal it shut with flesh.
That's gross and cool at the same time.
Avalon just kind of has this little look on her face. I can't describe it in any other way.
Hey guys, I gotta drop
Okay.
later.
Okay, so here's the deal, this one guy. You do me a favor. You get your people, and yeah, and we're gonna. Can you try not to that to anyone that's not your people? That'd be great. Can we? Is that a thing that you can do?
This one supposes so. It is called Zorian.
Zorian.
What did he say?
This one, he'll gesture towards himself, is called a Zorian.
It takes Aaron a minute, and then he just looks at Avalon. What?
That's his name.
Oh,
And she will look at him. I'm Avalon. And she kind of glances like at the door. I think you can come out from behind there now.
is Twitchy McTwitchin still twitching?
Yeah, he seems to be slowing up a bit.
Miranda's gonna slit his throat with her razor blade.
All right.
Hashtag no humanity rating.
She kind of looks at the cuffed dude.
And
Wait to see if he has any response to this. Any of what's going on.
he seems kind of in a panic.
He goes, I don't think you fully grasp how bad the situation is for you. Now, normally, I would return you to my people, and they would interrogate you and then put you back into the world. But because I don't want to do that, and that's my option, I'm going to give you to these people. You know, the people that use, like, flesh stuff to close people's mouths and all that. I'm going to give you to those guys, and you're going to tell them everything. And I really don't care, because you made the guy that helps the children sad, and that makes you I don't like you. So, can you say that for me again? Azorian?
Zorian.
Yes. If you and yours who do the things that you do, however you do, that voodoo you do, take this one and go find things out, I would love a transcript. Can I just give you my email and just let me know what you learned? That'd be great.
This one can provide a statement from that one. Yeah.
Thank you. It would be ever so helpful if you could do such a thing. That'd be great. I'm sorry, man. Had you caught me with a bunch of other virtual adepts, this could have gone different, but you didn't. So
Zorian's gonna lightly kick the cuffed one and say, "Do you require him alive?"
No. You can do whatever you want to with him. He's probably taken all manner of things from all manner of people. Just, find out what he did and just a brief transcript as an email to me, just as a courtesy, just of what you learned. so that I can dot my I's and cross my T's with my people, that'd be great.
It will be done.
Thank you. Here's my email. He has a card. This email.
Zorian doesn't even look at it. It just puts it into his robe.
Okay. Now all we have to do is find a giant Bible. That's all we have to do now. Now, you have a map. Let's just follow the map.
And she'll kind of open up the phone again.
You guys would know that there's a couple other rooms behind this one, and one of them is a storeroom being used for pilfered objects.
Okay, so the taken items are they're going to be in this room over here, and she's kind of pointing from quite a distance away at this phone. And that room is where they have the other stuff and people settings. Miranda's gonna open the door to the hallway that leads to that stuff.
They don't have that.
Right.
You guys are heading back to this other back storeroom. And it does have a number of medieval torture implements. It also does have the Bible and such in question.
Okay. What other? I mean, there's the torture stuff and the friar stuff. What other kind of stuff is in here?
You find some objects from that relate to like Celtic and Norse deities in here. There's stuff for robes and garments for different things, ritual daggers. You find some other Christian objects and implements as well.
Okay. So we have a variety of things to collect.
Miranda will make sure that they gather up the stuff specifically for the friar. She'll assume that the police officer is gonna have people come down and get the torture stuff, because that should go back to the museum. And so, were there other stuff that we knew people were looking for, or no?
Nothing else specific that you knew of, no.
Other than that, Miranda, just leave it for the police to deal with then, if there's nobody, other bad people in here.
Yeah, Avalon's gonna give a further look at the Celtic and Norse stuff.
All right.
If they have any special meaning or anything beyond just. I mean, I assume if they're taking one person's special stuff, that these belong to some other people too.
Yeah, they're definitely all objects of faith from somebody.
And while they're looking for all the mystic stuff, is there any like tech, like guns and knives and weapons and stuff?
They do not have any guns. They do have the biggest thing you'll notice is a lot of media equipment, high-end cameras, stuff for basically it would be easy to use for almost reminiscent of the kind of stuff you see used by terrorists to upload videos anonymously.
And I assume they have a lappy to control all this stuff?
Correct.
I'm going to sequester all that stuff. Unless someone stops me, because all these people are really badass, and if they say no, he'll be like, here.
Nope. Miranda did her part.
Yep. You're good. You take what you need to take. But yeah, Avalon's probably not gonna leave the other stuff behind.
Oh, Miranda's gonna talk to Blade, see if any of this stuff is him or his people's.
All right. So you're gonna summon him here.
I'm gonna manipulate the gauntlet. What's the gauntlet here? Or manipulate gauntlet to speak to him.
It would be a 5.
Okay. I have a success to find out if any of this stuff is theirs, him or the others that were with him.
He does. He is actually there. He was kind of tagging along with you for this, so he's present, and he gestures to a couple of things and says, "Well, at least some of this is." And he kind of gestures to like a dagger, like a ritual dagger, like the athame. And there's some robes and stuff, and he says, "You know, we use this stuff, and most of what we had though is like native herb craft type."
Miranda's gonna gather up their stuff as well, because she's gonna put some of it with their graves, like bury it in a box beside their grave or something. And if she has something that's like the athame that's specifically his, she's gonna keep that to do work with him.
Okay. So Aaron's gathered up the tech. You've gathered up all these Celtic stuff primarily, at least the stuff that's related to his group.
Would any of you like copies of any of the video or anything that I get off of this stuff? No? Okay, I understand. Well, I'm going to sanitize the area so that we don't leave a trace. Yeah, at least for investigative purposes. Unless you don't want me to, in which case I won't.
I think that would be a wise idea.
Sí, muy bien.
That was what?
Peace agrees.
I couldn't just say that.
I assume Avalon's gathering up the other pagan stuff that's...
Yep.
So who's got the actual Bible?
Miranda grabbed it. She grabbed the priest stuff and the other stuff for Morgan's blade and stuff.
Yeah, she had picked up all the stuff for the friar.
We should leave in case they have anybody that we should go and not come back here. And yeah, because everyone here is dead. And yes.
Yeah, Miranda will definitely make her way back out at that point.
Right, so you guys are going to head out to the subway, I take it, and just GTFO?
No.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to use my rope, sanitize.
I assume that part.
Do you want me to roll for it or just do it? Just call it good.
I'm going to assume you're going to spend enough time to make sure it's done right, so... You don't need to roll.
Okay.
Tiger, I'm assuming you are looking for your cultist follower.
Yep, correct.
This one seeks his cultist.
You also find a couple of other people who are being held here, as well as taking your new toy.
To the other ones I find, I'm just going to look at them and say, this one offers you freedom and salvation if you follow it.
They look at each other. Most of them are younger kids. Not kids, but like youth, late teens, early 20s type. And three of them look at you and say, well, can't be any worse than the ones I already followed. They certainly didn't help me out a whole lot.
Do any of the prisoners have any like Christian paraphernalia on them? Like, hey, we am yay God, like stuff.
Not one of them is one of the young men does have like a crucifix hanger on his neck, but that's about it.
Does that look like the thing that the father wears?
No, you guys did find the.
I'm saying this guy looks like he wears a crucifix. That's God Squad stuff, right? That's
Right.
the same stuff that the other guy has.
Yes,
Hey, Avalon.
Yes.
Okay, that one there has the same art thing on his neck that the priest guy does, and he said he ministered to the people. So I think we should give that one back.
I have to agree.
I go up to the guy with the crucifix on his neck. Hi. Does he speak?
he just looks at you and says, "Are you here to let us out?"
Well, here's the deal. Now, if you were part of some wacky, not Jesus group, then no. However, if you're with the Jesus people, I can take you to a Jesus guy, and you have to promise that you don't tell anybody anything you saw down here, or all these people will come kill you. I cannot protect you from all of them. You just have to be smart enough not to say shit.
He says, "If you can take me to one of the churches, that would be great."
I can do that. All the rest of you cult weirdos people, I don't know anything about that, but I know the Jesus guy, and he's this way. So follow me, and you. What are your name? Yes, you come with me. Yes, let's go.
So the one kid with the crucifix will follow you. The other ones look at Tiger. They look at you and they say, "Well, if you can help us, we'll take you we'll follow you because we have followed others. Some of us have followed or joined covens or druidic circles, and here we stand." So obviously that was not successful for us. You seem though like you care for those who practice with you.
This one likes its followers, and this one promises you safety so long as you follow it.
And so they come over to you and so you will gain 3 new followers, as well as the prisoner.
We do.
You want to call it, John? You sound like you're about to die.
Well, I'm just, if everybody's got everything they need, we can. I'm going to assume you guys are heading out.
Yep.
Great. So, and Aaron scrubs the scene.
There's lots of spraying and scanning, but yes, he does scrub the scene.
Okay.
Miranda's gonna take the stuff back to the priest.
Yep.
I'm gonna have booking for you, John.
I'm assuming everyone's going to have blue booking for me, but if Miranda returns things to the priest, she will ask if she has a way to get a hold of the other gentleman who helped, who had requested payment, assuming he did actually help.
I do not have a phone. I'm not very good with the electronics. We don't get along very well.
I see. Well, if you get any word on how to reach him, please, or if you encounter him again, please send him to me that I can make sure he gets his proper reward as agreed upon.
Oh, sure. If I see him, I will let him know, senor. Adios, padre.
He nods and says, "Thank you and safe travels."
Miranda's gonna take off. Because I gotta go.
All right. Anyone else have anything they need to wrap up before we end?
I'm assuming I found my guys specifically in addition to the new ones.
Yes.
But then I'm good.
Evelyn will just take the stuff back to the shop and further figure it.
John, there was one weird question I had. Was it? You know what? Take as all the answers. No, it's okay. I will take the kid to the priest,
Okay.
and I tell the kid he's gonna teach you how to use a sword. Ask to learn how to use a sword. Trust me, it's a big deal. The sword thing.
All right. So you take him to the priest. You will get your reward then, and he pays you for your assistance. And
He says, in lieu of that, I'm gonna need you to show me how to use one of them sword things.
kind of raises an eyebrow and he says, "You want to be trained with a sword?"
Yep.
He says, "We can certainly make arrangements. I will teach."
But not one of the big ones, one of the thin ones with the pokey.
He says, "I assume this would be more appropriate." And he pulls out basically a stiletto.
That is very tiny. I need a bigger one. But I'll take this. I'll take what you got. That works. So I'll be back. You with this one, train him, and explain to him how he needs to not remember anything, or else bad people or people, I don't know how bad they are.
He says, "Very well. I will see what I can do for you as well. For something more applicable."
He will give everyone his card, and he will say, and he will explain to, is anyone still there, Avalon or anybody else?
Sorry.
Avalon went back to her shop with the other.
With the crazy lady?
I think Miranda went MIA.
Well, did y'all give him back his suits, is what I'm asking.
Oh, he got his stuff back. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Well, then we will wrap it up there. So, as you guys can finish up anything else in Blue Books, this has been another episode of Nightfall in Amsterdam, a group, or open scene, I should say, as the group delves into the religious conflicts and hopefully find some further answers. Thank you, players, for playing, and watchers for watching.